In these boxes is my entire football collection, consisting of football boots, official match balls and shirts. And today I'm selling it all to see how much it's worth. I've made a checklist of all the chapters in this video, from the items I definitely won't be selling.
I'm not sure what they'd be worth, but yeah, I'm not selling them.
To the moment I realised I might have made a mistake.
I'm 99% sure this is fake, mate, I can't lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Before revealing the final total at the end.
That is bad.
But first, let me explain why I'm selling all this stuff.
So why am I selling all this stuff? Have I stopped playing football? Am I looking to make some profit? Well, the answer is pretty simple. So making YouTube videos, over the years, I've accumulated a lot of stuff, from testing out products or just buying them to wear. I've ended up buying a lot of really cool, expensive and rare items. But here's the thing, I wouldn't class myself as a collector. I only buy them to wear and to film with. And although I can definitely appreciate how cool these items are, I'm sure there's people out there who will get a lot more from them than me. As at the moment, a lot of it's just sitting in boxes and just not really being used. So with all that cleared up, let's take a look at what I've got to sell.
The football resale market is huge. Rare match balls selling for thousands, football boots going for even more, and vintage football shirts have skyrocketed over the last few years. So the real question is, what is my collection worth?
So this is the first part of my collection, and this doesn't include my most expensive and rarest products. These are mainly the bulk of what I've got, and they're stuff that I haven't really opened in months. Let's take a look. This super cool pair, Lotto Zero Gravity Diodora gold football boots. We should get a little bit for these. We've got these Adidas Prada boots. We've got the first ever pair of F50s. Rare boot, I feel like a lot of collectors will want these. First box down, and there's some good stuff in there. Let's take a look in this one. Adidas Predators, they're gonna need a big cleanup. These look in good condition though, almost brand new, still got the tag on. Now, I know these are really rare as well, but they're absolutely battered. I don't think I can sell these.
So looking through these boxes, it was clear I had some pretty cool items that are potentially worth a decent amount of money.
So I bought these as a used pair. I think they only cost me £100, so if we can get anything close to that, I'll be happy with that.
So that was some of my collection, minus my most expensive items. I'll show you those a bit later, but I do also have a few football shirts. To be fair, not many of them, but I think this PSG one's pretty rare. Now, I've made a similar video to this 4 years ago, and my whole collection sold for just over $1,000. And honestly, I think that's kind of low considering how much I spent on it. But this time, I think I've got a lot better collection and a lot more expensive items. So with that being said, let's take a look at my most expensive stuff.
First up, we've got the pair in this box. If I'm going to be honest, I don't actually know what these are worth, but they look pretty expensive. It says limited collection on the box, and we've got the 99-gram Adidas boot. These are the lightest football boots ever made, and you can tell because there's basically nothing to them. Next up, we've got this, the golden Jabulani. If this is in good condition, it's worth well over £1,000. Mine's not in the best condition, but I'm hoping it's still worth a bit. Then we've got the Prada football. I don't think it's gonna sell. £800 brand new, but it's been used a lot, and people who are buying this aren't buying it to use, they're buying it to collect. And finally, we've got the golden team, guys. This is probably the coolest looking football ever. In good condition, this is worth a lot of money, and I would say mine's in pretty decent condition. So I'm expecting this to be my most expensive item of the video.
So I've shown you what I think are the most expensive items in my collection, but before I commit to selling everything, I needed to make sure I was doing the right thing. So I got on a train and headed to see Cam, who unlike me is a proper collector. I needed to ask him a few very important questions to make sure I wasn't making a mistake, but he also had some bad news for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Right, Cam, I want you to be honest with me here as a collector. Am I making a mistake selling all my stuff?
I think for you, because you use a lot of your stuff and you're not a collector, I don't think it's a bad thing. There'll probably be some sentimental pieces that you've got, but on the whole, nah, good decision.
What do you think is the most expensive item in my collection?
I'd say either two of your footballs, gold jab or gold team geist, 100%.
Right, and how much do you reckon I can expect to get for those?
Oh, that's a tough question. Are they new?
No, I have used them.
I would have guessed gold team geist 400.
Okay.
Jabulani, I'd say 500 used.
500
maybe even
used.
600, yeah. That's my guess. I don't know, I could be very wrong. These are probably my favourite ones and probably the most valuable. Neymar. Neymar signed boots, man.
Wow. Another question, if I keep my stuff now and then sell it 10, 20 years from now, will it be worth more?
I honestly think because you've worn so much of it, it might go up a little bit, but if it was brand new, it definitely would have been worth more. I don't think you're making that much of a loss if you got it rid of it now or in 5-10 years time. Reason being, collectors want it brand new. There's only 304 pairs of these in the world. They cost me a lot of money.
Right, final question, Cam, and this isn't an offer.
Okay.
What would it take for you to part with all your collection?
Oh, I don't think the day will come.
Really?
But I think the only thing I will do is probably sell the pairs that don't mean as much to me, or then they're not worth as much. I'd keep all the limited stuff, like my Ronaldo stuff, my signed stuff, just because it's hard to replace.
So after speaking to Cam, I felt a lot better about selling my collection, but he did have some bad news for me. This is a PSG shirt from 2006. Well, at least I thought it was. I paid £200 for it, and although football shirts can fetch big money, there's a lot of fakes out there, so I wanted to check it was real before I sold it to anyone. And unfortunately, Cam confirmed my suspicions.
It would be, I think, on the reverse. It would be like round. Nah, that's, I'm 99% sure this is fake, mate. I can't lie.
Really?
Yeah. Only because that font should be in italics and it's not. And also that size label, my instinct says it's fake, I can't lie.
So that was good, and I can't lie. This would have been worth a lot of money if it was legit. So the moral of the story, always buy football shirts from a reputable seller. Anyway, before I put the rest of the stuff up for sale, I wanted to show you the items I just can't get rid of.
I've got to be honest, there are some items that there's no way I'm getting rid of. Not necessarily because they're super expensive, mainly because they mean a lot to me personally. So let me show you the 4 items that I'm keeping. First up, we've got a pair of boots. They're the Hypervenoms. The reason I'm keeping these isn't because I think they're the best football boot ever. It's basically because these are the boots I scored a goal with at Wembley. So for that reason, I just can't get rid of them. They've got Wembley turf on the bottom. They do mean a lot to me. So these are staying in my collection. Next up, we've got a football. Now this is a Champions League ball, but that's not the reason I'm keeping it. I don't think you would know just by looking at it, but basically I made a video with Ronaldinho and he freestyled with this exact football, one of the greatest players to ever do it. And this is the football that he used. So for that reason, I just can't get rid of it. Now, third item, we've got another pair of boots. This time it's an Adidas pair. These are quite old now. I've had these for a long time. They're an F50 boot and they're signed by Gareth Bale. I basically entered an Adidas competition where you had to send in a video of you doing your best tricks. Gareth Bale picked the winner and somehow, luckily I managed to win and I got these as a prize. I'm not sure what they'd be worth, but yeah, I'm not selling them. So the final item I'm keeping is the Jabulani. Now, I use the Jabulani a lot in videos, so if I sold it, I would just have to buy a new one to film with. Maybe one day I'll sell it, but not right now.
So those were the items I just had to keep, but now it's time to sell. And as I was preparing some of my items, I noticed a problem.
Right, so I've just had a bit of a reality check on what my collection's actually worth, because as I said, I wear a lot of these items and use them quite a lot for videos, and they have quite a bit of damage. Let me show you. So we've got these that the inside is just destroyed. I've got these super rare 99 gram boots, and if you look at the colour online, they're actually a lot whiter than this. They seem to have faded in colour quite a bit, and the bottom is peeled off. And any collector will want these in perfect condition. This pair, the toes coming off. A lot of these are really old boots, so it makes sense, but still, I can't be selling that. It's made me realise that my collection probably is not worth as much as I thought.
So with my expectations set a little lower, it was time to actually find out what it's all worth. So I cleaned up my collection, set up this mini studio, took some pictures of the items, packaged them all up and sent them off to my friend Kim, as he'll be sorting out the selling side of things, and that way all the prices can be revealed to me as a surprise at the end of the video. So I waited for all the stuff to sell, and 3 days later, it was time to reveal the total.
So the results are in, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous for this. I don't know what anything's sold for. I've asked Kim to put together a spreadsheet, the item that sold for the lowest, and also the top 5 best-selling items. And then obviously at the end, the final total. So let's just go for it. So my least sold item is, oh my days, the vintage Adidas football boots for £2. I paid £80 for those. Okay, not a good start, but now we're gonna take a look at the top 5 best-selling items. All right, coming in at number 5, Adidas Prada boots. Next up, we have got Adidas Predator Archive boots, £71, 8 pence. These are a sick pair of boots as well, but once again, when you wear them, they just don't seem to go for as much. Collectors don't want them. Third best-selling item is, oh my days, that's bad. That is bad. The golden Adidas Jabulani sold for £127, 93 pence. £133. Considering what all the other boots went for, they sold for quite a lot. I'll take that. And I think I know what's going to be number 1. That is the Team Guys. Let's see. Oh my days. £143 for the Adidas team, guys. I thought the footballs would both get £500 at least. Well, there's a few people who have got absolute deals there. Let's reveal the final total. I'm already realising it's not going to be anywhere near what I thought it was going to be. Let's take a look. £762. That's not good. I thought the 2 footballs alone would get more than that. So there you go. That's what my collection was worth, and I'm donating all the money to charity.